Good afternoon, everyone. This is Praveen Puram from TV5 from Atlanta. Today we have two esteemed guests, Mr. J. Chowdary garu. I need not introduce him to anyone. He is well renowned. And Mr. Lax Chepuri garu. He is also here. So they are in a tour of Succeed. What it means. The International Startup Foundation is founded by Mr. J. Chowdary garu and also supported by Vikrant and Chepuri garu. The main vision of this is to travel across to the cities and familiarize this, what is this startup foundation and how all the entrepreneurs here from the different cities, how can they support. The main vision of this is how to bring the entrepreneurs in India in the rural. That is the great aspect or the vision of this particular foundation. So let us all hear directly from them what is this tour about and what are they going to achieve and how the Indo-Americans who are entrepreneurs in different cities, how they can collaborate, contribute for this great vision. Namaste J. Chowdary garu and Namaste Chepuri garu. So tell us, sir, what is your significance of this travel to US and the International Startup Foundation?
Thank you, Praveen. There are two aspects mainly why we have come here. One aspect is looking at the US education. What are the aspects that we have to learn? Because our universities have to be research-based education or startup-based education, innovation-based education, because the current technology trends are very disruptive, particularly generative AI and quantum computing, all the new technologies which are going to sweep the world. It's going to impact everybody, including the citizens in US and all over the globe. Particularly for countries like India, where we have a very high densely populated country, job creation is the most important for us. If you see old Telugu movies like Missamma and all that, only one theme, there is no job for them. Because of the job, they have to act like a wife and husband and get those small jobs like a teacher job. If you see any Hindi movies or Telugu movies or any movie during that time, the main aspect is no jobs, right? Though there were number of educational institutions were very, very less. Today, educational institutions have exponentially they have grown, and so many lakhs of millions of people are coming out of this education institution, particularly from India. And all these 30 years, thanks to IT services industry, that was able to absorb whoever, whether it is a diploma holder, second class, first class, third class, or from Timbuktu college, or this thing, everybody, they were able to get, because there was so much of demand. I have seen myself during the peak Y2K days. If somebody says, I know COBOL, one line, okay, come and join. And then the Amir Peto, America story started. But unfortunately, the situation is now changing. And all the jobs which were created during the last 30 years, there is a big question marks whether these jobs will be there or generative AI is going to automate these jobs. So in this context, we want to come and study what are the new reforms, education reforms we need to create, because we have to create the manpower for the this disruptive technology transformation which is happening in the world. We need to again bring that the disruptions in the education system, particularly higher education. See that our people are prepared to take on the new jobs. People say there are lots of new jobs are there, but are we prepared? Are our students are prepared to take on the new jobs? So that is a big question mark. So we want to study. And based on that, we wanted to identify the progressive universities in India and see that they also bring some reforms in the higher education, pedagogy and all that this thing. That is one aspect. The second aspect, when the job creation engine, all this 30 years, the services segment. Now we have to create a new job creation engine. We believe that startups are going to be new job creation engine, and through startups we are going to create new jobs. That is one of the main aspects why we started a fund recently, Succeed Innovation Fund, which is a Indian NRI INR fund, which is a SEBI approved all the regulatory bodies in India, they have approved that fund. And we wanted to raise about 100 crores initially, but we moved it to 300 crores fund. Right now, about 60 startups, early stage startups have been funded by the Succeed Innovation Fund. But what is happening is these companies where we invested, they have come to a level, they're doing very well. Most of them, they want to come to USA and change the headquarters from India to USA, and they wanted us to also invest in the growth stage. Unfortunately, our current fund, the regulations are such that we are not able to invest once it is becomes outside the country entity. So that's where we thought that why don't we create a new fund, which is a dollar fund, where we have the flexibility to invest even though our own companies where they crossed stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 and they have come to US and they are also growing. We don't want to miss those opportunity, and also we want to invest in them. And for that, we don't have current fund, we don't have the flexibility. So we thought we'll create a new fund, which is a dollar denominated fund, and which has been registered at our the gift city in Gujarat, where it's almost like setting up a fund in Mauritius or Singapore or Delaware and all that. They have all the approvals. We thought, we'll start a fund with those approvals. And this journey, whatever myself, Lax Chepuri and Vikrant, we are going to different cities and trying to see if there are any LPs who are interested in investing with our dollar fund. So that is the journey. Right now we are all this thing. We visited New Jersey was the first city. Then we went to Virginia, Washington, DC. Then also went to Charlotte. Now this is the third one, Atlanta. Then we'll be going to Houston, and Austin, Dallas, then Bay Area and all that. So this is the fundraising exercise we're trying to do.
I think, thank you, sir. I think before that, I wanted to tell my viewers, I treat you as a godfather for this STPI and all those kinds of stuff. If no one has learned about you, we know that how India was and how you have started the STPI, how you were in Central as an administrative officer, and how you have really built this ecosystem. I'm glad that you are bringing this and you are marching towards the journey of this Succeed and invest in the Indian companies. So now, what will be your pitch, sir? Suppose, for example, there are a lot of entrepreneurs here. They have a lot of money. And even there are tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities. A lot of the IT ministers have come here, and then they have also tell that in the rural we will have tier 2, tier 1, tier 3. But the lot of problems happens when the government changes, right? Mm-hmm. That is where, as a media person, when I speak to a lot of entrepreneurs, they are little hesitant to invest. For example, if I am from Mehboob Nagar, some of the minister is in Mehboob Nagar and I will be very excited and invest. What will happen when he is going away? So did you think on these things, sir? I just wanted to ask, because from the interest of the entrepreneurs for Indo-Americans, I do a lot of these shows for their welfare. So what do you suggest them, or how do you secure this when they start investing in your Succeed?
Yeah, it's a very good question. I am asking a counter question. You are an entrepreneur. When you come to America, when you want to start a company, do you think that you want to meet the president of USA or a secretary who is in charge of the industries, or the local inspector? Do you go and meet them?
Never.
Do you think that changing the government here will impact your industry that much?
I don't think so. In America, it impacts. It might be impact from the tax point of view, but other than that, our business will not be in risk.
So, same case in India, in the startup world. Only the manufacturing, where a lot of capital goes and allocation of land happens, there those issues, whatever issues said, yes, I mean, one government, there's a change in the government, those issues. Whereas startups, most of them, their ideas, they've got some innovative ideas, They'll go to some investor like Chepuri and this thing, sir, this is a great idea I have. And if Chepuri likes it, you'll put some angel investment in that. So using that money, they will develop a product, and afterwards they'll go for a Series A funding. The whole world is their market. Even in Pakistan, there is a business for them, and through the social media, they will get the customers even from Pakistan. It's a borderless business. See, startup business is a borderless business, particularly our people, the way they are coming out with innovative solutions, not for Indian customers alone, for the global customers. So they don't have to worry about whether X government is there, what will happen if Y government comes and all that. This thing, they are not even looking at meeting any government officials and all that, this thing. And that way we are very safe. And that's the reason why in the last 5 years, the startup ecosystem in India is really exponentially is growing. Now more than 120 unicorns have come in the last 5-6 years, and fintech alone, there are several unicorns and decacorns have come. I think it's a great opportunity for the for India at this point of time, when our Prime Minister Modi is talking about Amrit Call. This is Amrit Call for the next 30-40 years. We are going to grow like that. And whatever the number of startups today, about 120, it may become 1,000 startups, and many startups may become decacorns or hectacorns and all that. We don't know, maybe Apple's or Microsoft's or Google's may come out of Indian soil using new innovative ideas. See, in the AI era, particularly now we're talking about AI era. In the AI era, AI without data, do you think any AI companies can survive?
Never.
Who has got the data?
Never.
Only China and India.
Yes.
The maximum data sets that what we have. No other country can think of having that kind of a data sets. Whereas India, with our Aadhaar and whatever the stack that they've created, all the 1.4 billion people, they're all digitally connected. You go to even a beggar, he will also ask money, digital money, not the cash and all that. So they're all digitally connected. This is the greatest platform. There's a reason why many fintech unicorns have come in India. So I think next 10-20 years is our Amrit Call, and a lot of startups are using the data in the AI era. Suppose you have a healthcare data, and if you take out some sensitive information, give this data sets with some sandbox environment to startups, obviously they will not get this kind of healthcare data from anywhere in the world. That kind of data is available. Same thing, if somebody wants to develop some new solution using the agriculture data or agri products, we have n number of agricultural zones are available, climatic zones are there. I don't think most of the European countries, 6 months they can't grow anything because winter season, whereas in India, sun is there all throughout the year. So they are able to grow every, Himalayas to the Kanyakumari, if you see, any product, any new thing they can grow, and they can. Only thing is they have to now come with some food processing, and we are not able to bring that element, supply chain, logistics, and all that. It's an opportunity for a startup. So like that, we have great opportunity at this point of time, and they don't have to worry whether government is changing or government is not changing. I think they have to focus on what is that problem they are solving. There are so many investors. So many VCs, global VCs are willing to fund those companies back in India, because India itself is a big market. Suppose if I have a product in American market may be less compared to the Indian market. Indian market is a much bigger market. In fact, a lot of startups in USA, they are asking us to provide the access to the Indian market. So whereas in India, suppose somebody gets $1 million in Silicon Valley for a startup, maybe 1 quarter for salaries and all that will be over. Same $1 million, if you give it to in Hyderabad or Bangalore, similar kind of people are available. Whatever the class of people, technology point of view, we have a similar kind of people are available. And with that same $1 million, this company in India, they are going to come out with a product, because available to the manpower is there, plus cost of operations are at scale, we are able to do it, and we are selling the product within India before they take it to the global market. I think this is the golden times for Indian startup ecosystem. That's the reason why we are raising this new fund, and we want to enable all the startups in India or wherever they are located, because our own Indian startups, when they migrated to other countries, they need some follow-on funding. That's the reason why we are here, and we want to see that our companies can create new job opportunities for our citizens in India, and also the wealth creation also happens through this process.
Thank you, sir. Very well said. I think we should not, definitely, it's only the mindset. We wanted to clarify from you, and we are very, very sure that it all depends upon the processes, not the government. So just let's talk about this, Lax Garu, and welcome here to Atlanta, and how you are associated with J. Chowdary Garu, and how did this evolve, and what is your role you are going to play in this?
Sure. Thank you so much. My role as a general partner in the Succeed Fund, the word Succeed says, we really fund companies at the seed level. So my association with Jay Garu has been in a short time with him spending personally, but we all know we grew up seeing him as a leader of IT, being a contributor for the industry in IT, Hyderabad, especially in Estival, Andhra Pradesh. So coming to the fund, we are here on a road trip, visiting multiple cities to raise funds. But to add on to what Jay Garu suggested, right? So was explaining, India is going through a transformational journey. So what we have seen from 90 to 2000 is all setting up the systems, and we have seen we have the benefit of that in market then. So 2000 to 2010 is all setting up things, and a lot of multinational companies moved. But if you look at 2020 and after, you see now a lot of entrepreneurship. So a lot of kids are not joining jobs because they are pursuing their entrepreneurship. So that is where, but at the same time, I'm sure it's a 3M, right? You need market, money and market, and all this mentoring. So this where do we have all that in USA? Because if you see last 25 years, a lot of Indian citizens moved here globally. So we want to reach out to everybody and first educate. It's not all about money. We want to educate what's happening in India, and also we want them to be part of this journey and help others. You may have some extra money, you want to invest in India and be part of this success story, and also help other budding entrepreneurs. That's our objective.
Absolutely, Chepuri Garu. Lax Garu, you also see that a lot of students coming from India here, and they are really, sometimes they'll be looking for an internship opportunity, and also they'll be looking for funding for all their ideas. So what is the plan in the next 3 to 6 months? How are you going to approach to the young entrepreneurs here in US? Do you have any a plan, at least a 3 months plan or 6 months plan for this?
Yeah, that's been a conversation every meeting we go, right? So a lot of students moving here on master's degree. But again, going back, the students in India are looking to be an entrepreneur. Why not the students coming to US have access to master's degree and better studies can think of entrepreneurship? The days of joining a job changed. You don't need to look for a job in IT, honestly. You can do a lot more freelancing by setting up your own website, but believe in your skill, improve your skill, be an entrepreneur. That's where a lot of funding activity happening. So you can even approach us for any of their ideas if they may have. We are happy to fund from our India fund or a global fund. So that opportunity is always there, really.
Nicely said, Lax Garu. So far, I think this is the third city you are marching in US. How was the response, and are you getting a positive response from all the entrepreneurs, or how do you see this?
Yeah, we've been, this is the third one we are doing. So far, we have extraordinary response in New Jersey, New York. We did one, and last weekend, and we did one in Charlotte, and DC, and this is the fourth one in Atlanta. So enormous response. There's a lot of people, as I said, it's not about money, right? The way we are educating the 3M, we not only money, market access, and mentoring. So all can be done by the NRIs in whatever the form and shape, right? Again, it's a 5-year fund. They may not have money today, but they can plan, and maybe they have some retirement money, or they may have some investments in India that they may be realizing. A lot of people moved 25 years ago, have a lot of ancestral property. That's the time they're probably thinking to invest in other areas. So we see a lot of response from the market, and we're happy at this time.
Thank you, Lax Garu, and we wish you good luck. And I'm sure that you are the face here,
Yes.
and I'm sure that people will be coming forward and help this particular foundation. Jay Garu, the next question would be: you have seen lot of ups and downs in IT, right? Now, as you rightly said, AI, ML, LLMs, you are seeing the terminology is changing very drastically. So now, how are you going to prepare? So first of all, my question is first on AI in the IT and all. And this startup foundation will also help apart from IT, like manufacturing or any other aspects, like it may be health, or do you have any plans?
See, our startup foundation is looking at various verticals of the industry. For example, we are going to run one conference on health tech startup vertical in Hyderabad. Similarly, food and agri also one vertical. So there are a lot of opportunities in every vertical in India itself. Education vertical, lot of opportunities. Fintech already many opportunities people have explored. So like that, I mean, every even defense aerospace recently, a lot of startups. I mean, Indian government has given leverage for the startup companies to actually work with ISRO, with other defense organizations. There also we see from Hyderabad itself, people now started creating the rockets and also the satellites which is getting launched. These things. So that kind of, earlier I don't think everybody used to think, no, I want to start a staffing company or maybe some BPO, KPO job. That's very rudimentary, low-level services because those opportunities were plenty. But suddenly they realized that the startup opportunities, once they saw the billion-dollar companies coming up, for example, when I started Portal Player, we used to design the silicon chip, which ultimately went into Apple iPod. We took the company public in NASDAQ, including my driver, where I allocated stock options. You could build a house. So all my employees today they are with NVIDIA because NVIDIA acquired our company. And many of them are still working for NVIDIA. Once in a while they keep talking, sir, I have this many millions of dollars worth because NVIDIA stock has gone up and all that. I feel very happy that our employees got benefited because I recruited them in my company. And so people are watching these dynamics. See, earlier when we started Portal Player, getting our employees to our company was very, no sir, my son got a job in Infosys at TCS, so they will not be able to join your small startup company. They were not aware of the benefits of the startups. Today, many students or even universities, they know the advantage of working for startup companies because there are so many unicorns have come. I think this is the target which is fortunately, India is going to enjoy that new phase of India, where earlier we were only talking about services. From services mindset, we are coming to the product mindset. That's good for the country. And more importantly, what golden opportunity India is going to have is the rural India opportunities. In the rural India today, if you go, agriculture, there are a lot of issues. Rural infrastructure, there are many issues are there. Rural healthcare, still a lot of issues to be resolved and all that. Every problem is an opportunity for a startup. So, International Startup Foundation, for which I am the founder and chairman, we are trying to curate what are the problems in the rural India and identify some rural entrepreneurs and see how they can be funded so that they will be able to solve the real problem. See, earlier startups in Silicon Valley and all other countries including India, they used to start some app and the app used to become $1 billion app and all that. I think those days are not going to, these generative AI tools and all that, in no time any new technology app can be created. Now, if any startups have to survive and succeed, they have to solve a real problem. And India has got plenty of that kind of a real problems. That's the reason why I see a lot of startup growth in India, because we have so many problems, yet addressed, because ours is not like a Western country where things are all matured and all that. So this is a great opportunity right now, and fortunately, a lot of investors are also looking at India at scale, and people are also available in a cost-effective way. Earlier, we had only 4 or 5 IITs. Today, every state, for example, our combined Andhra Pradesh was not even having one IIT or one triple IIT or one IIM. Today, after a state got divided into 2 states, both states have got IITs, triple IITs, and all the premier institutions are there in both states. The same story, if you see entire India, that many premier institutions are there established by Government of India and various state governments. In addition to that, a lot of good private universities also are producing the best talent in India. I think talent at scale at our price points is available, and there are umpty number of problems which are yet to be addressed in India. There's a golden opportunity for any startup, even not only Indian startups. The American startups are also wants to come and look at how they can pick up some of these problems and become a unicorn and decacorn. Wherever their opportunities are there, people will go into those countries. Now, India is a land of opportunities, and that's where our Succeed Innovation Fund also is focusing on early stage startups, and our startup foundation also trying to see how we can help the startups, nurture them, see that they become successful, create jobs for the country, create wealth for the country, and we are very bullish about India in the next 20 years.
Thank you, sir. Very well said. And this is all about on the Succeed and also the International Startup Foundation. And there are number of opportunities if you have an idea how that can be transformed. So this is all about, we can learn more, be connected, and if you have any questions, reach out to us. We will connect with Jay Garu or Lax Garu. So to any of your funding or investments into this will definitely transform not only the rural India, the entire Indian economy will be absolutely fine. And because you being here an entrepreneur, there is always an opportunity to invest and make the other colleagues or the other rural areas to be developed. With this, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jay Garu. Thank you, Lax Garu.